Break the wheel. Make it stop.
Hello once again, gentle viewers. Happy New Year and welcome once again to another episode of The Broken Wheel. In this episode, I'll be going over episode 6, season 1, titled The Flame of Tar Valon. There's a lot to go over in this episode, so I'll try to keep things as brief as I can. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so to help it grow. But with all that said, let our journey begin again. In the opening scene of the episode, we see Suian Sanche as a young girl outside the city of Tar, capital of the coastal nation of the same name. I'm assuming that since that is where Suian is from in the books. I also think the spire we see in the background is the Stone of Tar, the fortress palace of the nation and the oldest standing structure known to man. We see that Suian has had these tattoos since a young age, and they appear to be cultural, for her father has them as well. Suian shows remarkable control of the One Power for her age by helping her father, who only has one hand, untangle his netting. He warns Suian not to do that, for Tar is a nation that does not tolerate anyone who can channel, including the Aes Sedai. When they come back from fishing, they find their home burned and the Black Fang drawn on the gate. No doubt fearing for his daughter's safety, Suian's father sends her upriver to the White Tower. Suian doesn't want to leave her father and is naturally afraid, so he tells her,
"If any of them bastards tries to shame you, you show them who you are." Suian Sanche, daughter of the river. Clever as a pike. Strong as the tides.
So we come into the episode proper, seeing the inside of the hall of the tower. This is where the Armylin Seat, the leader of the Aes Sedai, holds court. We hear this dull ringing being made by the staff being struck against the floor as the Armylin Seat is being announced.
Attend you all, she comes. The Watcher of the Seals, the Flame of Tar Valon. The Armylin Seat.
The woman doing so is most likely Liane Sharif, the Keeper of the Chronicles. The Keeper is the Armylin's number 2 and presides over the hall of the tower, somewhat like the Speaker of the House in Congress. The staff she holds is the Armylin staff and is the Keeper's badge of office. She also uses it to call the hall to order as well, apparently. Moiraine, Alanna, and Liandrin are looking their best now, with Moiraine wearing this blue gem on her forehead, which is her trademark look in the books. As we pan around, we see 7 daises with 3 chairs each, forming a circle along with a lone grander one. These are the sitters, 3 representatives from each Aja to advise the Armylin Seat. The greens are 1 sitter short. Most likely this was Karini's seat. When Suian sits, we see the 7 colored stole she wears as her badge of office, showing that she speaks for all Ajas. If there is a reason the reds and greens are flanking the Armylin, I'm not aware of it. Suian Sanche's first order of business is to pass final judgment on Logain Ablar. When he is brought in, Logain taunts the Aes Sedai by telling them they're growing weaker and that he's proud he killed Karini. Suian easily sees that Logain is trying to get the Aes Sedai to kill him and instead orders he be imprisoned for the rest of his life. Logain is then dragged from the hall begging for death.
Kill me. Please kill me. I beg you.
No, kill me. Please, I beg you.
Coming to the matter at hand, Suian questions the 3 women why Logain was gentled before being brought to Tar Valon. Liandrin claims she had no choice after Karini was killed, and to everyone's surprise, Alanna and Moiraine backed Liandrin's decision. They address Suian as mother when speaking to her, as is the customary way for everyone to address the Armylin Seat. The Armylin in return addresses all other Aes Sedai as daughter.
Forgive me, Mother.
You have something more to say, daughter?
Since Liandrin was next in command after Karini, Suian places any fault with her. Liandrin can't hold her anger at this and tries to shift attention to Moiraine. Prior to this, there have been rumors that Suian isn't happy with Moiraine's activities outside the tower and is looking for an excuse to reel her in. One of the blue sitters, Megan, attempts to interject, but Liandrin quickly implies favoritism for Suian Sanche was of the blue Aja herself. It's worth noting that there is an old animosity between the blue and red Ajas. The majority of Armylins have been raised from the blue Aja and the least from the red Aja, in spite of the red Aja having always been the largest one. Though rarely done, all Armylins that have been removed and stilled from their positions have been reds and replaced with blues, including the one that abandoned Manetheren during the Trolloc Wars. So rare is the act that every novice is taught the names of those that were stripped of staff and stole, as it is called, as cautionary tales. When Suian questions what Moiraine has been doing for these past years, Moiraine refuses to answer. Angered by Moraine's insolence, Suian orders Moiraine to prostrate herself and asks again, making it clear if she doesn't answer she will be severely punished. This is the first time that we hear Moraine's full name and learn that she is from a noble family.
Lady Moiraine Damodred.
After the hall is dismissed, Liandrin comes to gloat that Moiraine will finally be getting what she deserves. I get the feeling that Liandrin's spite towards Moiraine goes deeper than just being red and blue. In fact, it appears they may have once been close, but Moiraine seems to have slighted Liandrin somehow, and Liandrin has not forgotten. Alana is once again eating fruit, an apparent habit of hers. Later, Moiraine is drinking tea at the inn where Mat and Rand are staying, waiting for Nynaeve and Loial to leave. She uses the long pour, showing she is an experienced tea drinker. Rand tries to defend Mat, thinking Moiraine has come to gentle Mat, but Lan easily restrains him. When Moiraine gets close, Mat flips out the dagger from Shadar Logoth. It's then that Moiraine realizes that it's the dagger causing Mat's illness. She pulls this dark ooze we've been seeing coming out of Mat from him with the one power. It tries to enter Moiraine, but she resists and forces it back into the dagger. It drops to the floor and Lan quickly covers it in a blanket, neither of them wanting to touch it. Rand thanks Moiraine outside the room and apologizes for his mistrust. Moiraine says that Mat still may be the Dragon Reborn, for he showed remarkable strength to resist the dagger's influence for so long. However, if he touches it again, the dagger will fully consume Mat and he will be permanently lost. When Nynaeve returns, Moiraine immediately berates Nynaeve for not telling her about Mat's condition, making Nynaeve feel guilty and like a child who has just been scolded by an adult. Moiraine is joined in the steam bath by Megan, the blue sitter from earlier who speaks with an Irish accent.
I wish you'd take meetings in the tower like the rest of us.
It's in this conversation that we hear about ships disappearing off the west coast. I was excited when I first heard this because it meant that the Sanchan are going to be in this series, and I was afraid they may be cut out. I'll talk more about the Sanchan in a later video. We also hear about Aiel being seen outside their lands in the east. As Moiraine grabs her towel to leave, she finds a flower in it, an obvious secret message. These women wearing yellow and gold are Aes Sedai of the Yellow Aja, for they bring Moiraine to Perrin and Egwene, Perrin needing obvious healing for the wounds on his back, and the Yellow Aja are the best Aes Sedai healers. Egwene gives Moiraine the Great Serpent Ring she took from Valda, telling Moiraine he won't hurt any more Aes Sedai, though I think we haven't seen the last of him. Egwene also tells Moiraine about Perrin's eyes changing color and the wolves suddenly attacking the White Cloaks as if to set them free, giving us the impression that it may be Perrin that is the Dragon Reborn. In the evening, Lan is upset that Moiraine has masked their bond so he can't sense her. The first time it being mentioned this can be done. Lan eventually leaves, telling Moiraine to be back before morning, and we turn to this ornate picture frame over the fireplace. A portal of white light opens from this frame, and Moiraine walks into it. Now, this is most likely a gateway, a way to use the One Power to travel great distances. However, the knowledge to create the weave to be able to travel was lost after the breaking of the world. I'm guessing this picture frame is a ter'angreal, an item that performs a certain function when the One Power is channeled into it. This would explain how Moiraine could get around not knowing the weave. When Moiraine comes out the other side, Suian is waiting for her, and we find out that not only are they secretly good friends, not only are they working together to find the Dragon Reborn, not only are they in fact lovers, but Moiraine is actually the top in their relationship.
On your knees.
I was wondering why Moiraine and Suian seem to be at odds when in the books they are very close friends. They went through their training together and became Aes Sedai at the same time, a very rare thing. There was some implication that they had once been lovers when younger, but had since, quote, grown out of it. It's apparently not unheard of for girls to have what's called, quote, pillow friends with one another during training. There's never been any mention of how any societies in the Wheel of Time feel about homosexuality one way or the other. It never comes up to the best of my knowledge. I love this idea of the two of them having this secret spot where they can be together. The fate of the world is at stake, which they both know, and is more important than how they feel about each other. It's sad that they can't have their love out in the open. We also have a definitive answer to Moraine's relationship with Lan, as she is not attracted to men. They talk about the prophetic vision that told of the Dragon Reborn's birth, and that if the other sisters found out about what they have been doing, they will likely both be stilled. Suian then tells Moiraine about her dreams, and they tell that the Dark One is still weak. If the Dragon Reborn strikes now, while it's vulnerable at the eye of the world, then the Dark One can be destroyed. Moiraine is hesitant, for she still doesn't know who is the Dragon Reborn, and anyone that goes and is not the dragon will die. In the morning, Liandrin ambushes Moiraine and Lan, telling them that she knows about Mat, Rand, Perrin, and Egwene at the inn. Moraine's response:
I know about the man you meet in North Harbor. Walk away. Never mention this again. Or I will tell your Red Sisters where he lives. We both know what they'll do to him.
I'm not sure where this is leading, but I have my guesses. Moiraine must now face her public punishment before the Hall of the Tower. Even though she knows what's coming, she can't help but be affected by it. Suian tells all that Moiraine is to be exiled from the White Tower, and has Moiraine swear to this on the Oath Rod, the ter'angreal that all Aes Sedai swear the 3 oaths on. Moiraine does so, and it's an emotional moment for both her and Suian, for they know this will make it impossible for the two of them to be together. And Moiraine swears,
Do swear to honor and obey Suian Sanche, daughter of the river, clever as a pike, strong as the tides.
After it is done, all the sisters ceremonially turn away from Moiraine, however reluctantly. Even Liandrin is hesitant to do so. Outside the city, the party is reunited after a month apart, plus Loyal at this stone structure. There are several joyful reunions, but Moiraine tells them that can wait, and that they will be going to the Dark One's prison at the Eye of the World. When Egwene asks what will happen to whomever is not the dragon, Moiraine evades answering, but everyone can tell it likely means death. Because time is of the essence, they will be using the ways to get to the Eye of the World, located far north in the Great Blight. The ways are an ancient system of pathways outside of space and time, once used by the Ogier, hence why Loyal is there to lead them on the correct path. Moiraine opens a portal into the ways, and all we first see of the ways is darkness, lightning, and thunder. Everyone follows Moiraine into the ways except Mat, who remains outside until the portal closes. The sudden departure of the character has to do with the actor Barney Harris leaving the show and not returning for Season 2. I hope you've enjoyed my overview of Wheel of Time, Episode 6, Season 1. If you enjoyed this content, as always, consider leaving a like or a comment in the comments below to help out the channel. And as always, go with the light.